orchestra, but I did write music in middle school. Okay, we're actually one Estes up this time. Maybe that'll help. So like I understand music, you know, is my point. So I think I think I can handle the first exam. Exactly. So, there's like actually no downside to having an at-risk talisman on a normal run, it turns out. Or so it seems. Unless maybe its magic adjust was dropped, it's just still higher than the other one, you know? Which could be the case, honestly. Good. Iframes. How could you? But yeah, and then otherwise I've just got, you know, geology stuff and a speech class, but I can't do anything for the speech class today because we turned in topics for our big informative speech, but he has to approve one of them. And he said he gets to pick which one. So, hopefully he picks the one I want. He's a very strange man, my speech professor, but... Good. Thank you, Pinwheel. Just kill him. But yeah, I brought this up yesterday. Yeah, Sanctus would guarantee this fight. Maybe one day you'll get me a Sanctus. Wow. Only 2 of those landed. I'm surprised by that. Don't. Thank you. Exactly, the joys of Dark Souls Challenger runs. You mean you don't enjoy swinging at a boss for 2 hours straight even though they're one of the lowest HP bosses in the game? Slow fireballs. Good. Good. Oh. It's so weird just to think that... I don't know what it is about Pinwheel. It feels like he shouldn't have iframes to me. So it's just weird to see him dodge attacks. Maybe one day. You know me, though. Next time we play will be June of next year, so I'll see you then I'll get my Sanctus. I'm just gonna hit that one since I'm so close already. I can understand liking strength builds. I am for either, honestly. Really? Did that one hit me? Was it the one that I was standing next to? I think it was. That's silly. There we go. I guess really what I should say is I like weak builds in terms of damage. Doesn't that seem true? There we go. I should probably go ahead and Estus or heal. As it is with the amount of Estus I have and stuff, it's one heal per... Oh, that's good. That's very good. One heal per section is what I want to have it down to. But again, if I can just make it to phase 2, then any time after that is gonna be... should pretty much be no hit. Should. If I get hit then, it's just sad. Actually, looks like I know where they're going to spawn or something. Are you kidding me? Oh wait, that's the real one. Never mind. That's why. Nope. Don't hit me. Don't hit me. Man. There we go. Spawn. Oh, good. Maybe he'll just teleport. Yeah, he will. Yeah, there is. That's actually how I died last time. Phase 2 killed me. What happens is when he gets down to 1/3 to 1/4 health, I think it's exactly 1/3. Pretty sure it is. Just from the damage that I did yesterday. He spawns 8 apparitions at once, and then they all go ham, and once you kill them all, he never spawns more. So if you can kill all 8, then you're pretty much safe. You're safe for the rest of the fight. I will say you're not pretty much. You are, unless you're brain dead, which I'm ready to die to that phase now because I said that. I might as well go ahead and heal, honestly. Yeah, it's weird to think that there's a phase 2 for this fight, isn't it? It's something that people never see. Not unless you do Pinwheel early, like without summons. Like without summoning Leroy. And you can tell if you've reached phase 2, if he's got apparitions. Because what'll happen is he'll break them. The ones that are already spawned. So there's only going to be 8 during phase 2. He can never have more than that. Whilst technically, I think he could probably have more spawned outside of phase 2. It might have a cap at 8. Really? I got that one. There we go. See, I'm already doing better this time. But yeah, I died at phase 2 yesterday because I went for the wrong one. Just chose one, and when I chose him, the one that I decided to go for did a flamethrower, so I was stuck against the back wall, completely stuck because it blocked off my path. He didn't hit me with it, but he just completely blocked my way from moving, and then like 4 others decided to blast me all at once. It was like a super attack. It was scary. Not actually scary. It was just strong. Strong enough to finish me off, as I was also out of healing and at like 1/3 or half health or so. Because I was playing kind of poorly at the time. Oh no, that's gonna hurt. I'm trying to read chat, and I get hit. Who would have thought? Oh. That was the last time you tried to do it? Was that on our SL1 game, or no? Which, by the way, I doubt we're ever going to finish. But yeah. I mean, as you saw, it's just a matter of maneuvering around the bone wheels. If you can handle that, then you're fine. It's just a little bit of kind of tricky moving because they've got tracking up to a point. But yeah, on normal runs, I don't actually think I kindle anymore at all. This isn't a normal run, obviously. I'm doing him first so that I could get the Rite of Kindling, but... Oh. Oh, that run. Okay, yeah. I do remember that. Did you finish that save file? I think you did, right? I want to say you did. If not, you made it far, I think. Maybe I'm just totally wrong. Yep. So something I didn't know until yesterday, because I just didn't pay enough attention during Fist Only, Pinwheel's apparitions totally have set spawn locations. And if not, then they've got a few that they like to gravitate towards. No, I mean, they definitely do, because every now and then he'll spawn them, and they'll spawn right on that circle, or close to that circle there, but they'll spawn on top of each other and then just split as soon as they start moving. But it happens, it's pretty obvious when it happens, so... Yeah, I thought that was a flamethrower. Okay, we're good. We're halfway through bar 2. Isn't that nice? Okay, there's one over there, yeah. And this one. You should. It'd be worth doing, at least, SL1. I've only ever done SL1 once. If that tells you anything. I don't like it too much. I like being squishy, or tanky. I like having a bit of leeway in my runs. I mean, I still completed it with relative ease, but I died a bit more than I... Pretty much it just added a few more deaths. Because your damage is pretty okay still. It's not like... It's a little bit subpar, but it's not horrible. And if you're running Chaos, it's not subpar at all. It's actually just on par. But I went for plus 15, because I'm a weirdo. Whoops. That's gonna not hurt. Surprised. At least they didn't like stagger their attacks, because if they had, I think that could have hit me. Well, it literally could have. Any of these could have. Am I safe? Okay, I am. I actually just couldn't tell. No! Oh my goodness, I got really lucky there. How about the timing on that gesture? I can't stand hitting X to gesture, because I don't move my controller even all that much. I just happen to hit X sometimes for no reason while I claw. And this is a fight where I'm clawing often. Nope. He's just stalling for now. Yeah, those smaller bolts have a little bit more tracking on them. I don't trust those. I think you could do SL1. Well, I know you can. Anybody, well, most anybody can. But, overcommitting. Tried to get 2 hits, but he attacked. What a terrible way to get hit. Oh well. I'm still pretty much on track in terms of health. Almost. See? That's what I mean by spawning in that spot there. I think I hit that one? I did, but of course it didn't actually kill him. There we go. I think what I prefer over SL1 though is doing just base level runs. It gives you so much more variety. That's part of the SL1 challenge though, is not having... I mean, they're good weapons. Like, they're fine weapons at least, but like, You can actually use dex weapons if you just go with a base level run. Just so much nicer. Not being stuck with like stumble mechanics for all of your weapons. I mean, you have the hand axe, which is actually a great weapon. But it's kind of strength reliant. Yeah, that was silly of me. Ugh. Really? I hit you point blank, and that just did nothing. I'm surprised. Is it just due to the... I mean, obviously it's just due to the timing of when I hit him, but still, it's silly. He's gonna break, but I'm gonna hit him twice. I have this feeling that he's gonna go for an attack, but... yeah, just don't get flustered. Black Knight base level run. Exactly. Wow. Okay. Imagine if you could use a Black Knight weapon at base level on any character. Wouldn't that be crazy? It'd be so strong. Okay. 2 bars down. 11 left. I don't know how far into this fight we are, but... oh, terrible timing. Good positioning, though, so it works out. Nope. 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 Just one hit, and then just go back to these guys. Did that count? Did. That would be real dumb. Just imagine being base or soul level 1 and then just one-shotting Taurus Demon and stuff like that. I mean, you'd have to drop attack him, but it would one-shot him. Oh, that's no good. Oh my god. Like this? This is when I hate this fight. It's not even all that... oh, really? It's not all that stressful, it's just annoying. Having to juggle so many. There we go. Jeez. Oh, here. At least you made it. You check all the freaking channels as soon as you go online anyway, so... I'm assuming you just meant, like, YouTube didn't tell you, not that I didn't at you, so... You didn't miss much. I restarted Pinwheel because I had a bad start the first time. Now I'm doing much better. DS3 magic run. I'm assuming, do you mean like pure int? Or just like magic weapon? Like int run with weapons that are like enchanted as well. Pure int is such a pain early game in that game. That's silly. YouTube is just kind of bad, so it doesn't surprise me. Hate taking this chip damage. Oh, you know what? Now would be a good time to check. Yeah, okay. So, like, durability damage lowered or at risk / broken doesn't lower the actual magic adjust. That's funny. So breaking a talisman actually does nothing against you. That's the last one. There it is. Jeez. There we go. Of course. Hey, you could always use the Moonlight Greatsword. You get it. You could technically get it really early game. 7 hits, that's not bad. Yes, keep this up, Pinwheel. That's fine. Like, there are plenty of bosses that with Sanctus, I don't even know if I would need Estus. I mean, stuff like Four Kings, of course, would still be. No, not on this. Maybe on a different run, but I'd rather not. Try no roll block on Artorias. Wait, you did say no roll, right? No sprint. Ugh. I don't like no sprint. I'm fine with no roll, more so than no sprint. Sprinting is huge, especially in this game. There's some pretty cool spells in Dark Souls 3. One that I find really funny is there's a foreign flash sword is what it's called. It's just a tiny magic greatsword. It's magic straight sword pretty much. But you can actually parry it. Which just kind of makes me laugh. Because why would you, and like you can parry repost off of it, like why would you make that such a punishable attack? It's I get that it can stack up damage well if somebody's not ready for it, but at the same time, it's not really all that strong already. I'll get around to do... Oh, somebody told me there's a run that nobody seems to want to do in Dark Souls 1 that is a Catalyst only SL1. I think I could pull it off. I think that could be a challenge I could do. I mean, I beat the game with 10 Banishment Catalyst, but it's a bit different from that because you'll actually have good damage at the end game. You just have to deal with some awkward stuff. With, like, getting the Manus Catalyst and stuff. But, like... Oh, jeez. And that's why you roll. But that's a run that I was told that just apparently nobody wants to do. I'm just thinking... I guess it's a reason to do SL1 at least. Oh. And obviously, the Asylum, you don't have a catalyst, but I guess that's fine. But this guy was showing it to me. Manus? No, yeah, the Manus catalyst on Four Kings was really interesting. Because, you can't wield it correctly, so you swing it real slow, right? But you still deal like 250 damage per swing. But yeah, it's all catalysts, not just one, not just base catalyst, which is good, at least. Please die. Thank you. Okay, this would be safe if he would stop. Oh, the range. Oh, the iframes. Just, please, thank you. Please spawn in the middle. Of course not. That's fine though. Did that count? It did. Good. Wait, we're 3 bars down? When did that happen? Oh, that would be way easier than, in terms of damage it is. And by late game bosses for sure. But it's just that apparently nobody wants to do it. I can understand why, but please die, thank you. But at the same time, I think I could pull it off. The big problem is just that it's SL1. But that's pretty much what the entire server does anyway. So, and that's really why I don't do. That's probably why I don't really have titles or anything. I don't really care about the titles, but they usually require SL1. Or they always do, really, I think. And besides, like, the Neo ones and stuff, which are unique for that. Like, Neo's a weird game in that sense, just because of how it does damage and loot and stuff, whatever. You can't, I don't think you can wield the Tin Banishment Catalyst either, though. Once you get the, but you can two-hand the, Demon's Catalyst, can't you? Like, you could just use that for most of the run, even. It's really strong for SL1, at least. Ah, just keep stalling, okay. That's fine. Gonna stall again, or are you just gonna teleport? Do it. Oh, that works too. Ah, I think you would enjoy Neo, probably. It's got some harder tendencies than Dark Souls in the sense that you die really fast in Neo, but the combat speed is good and the variety is great, and it's got more of a. It's not quite like Dark Souls, honestly. I don't know. I have no idea. But 10 crystallization also requires you to kill Logan. I don't want to do that. Although that's not really all that hard. It's just get him to see the Duke's Archives and kill him. That's true. So, what is it? 240 plus basic scaling, but then you've got split damage on the Demon Catalyst for like 100. It would be close. That's for sure. But I would just, I don't know. Mana's Catalyst is apparently the best one though, just because it's not split damage. Yeah, I think you. I don't know, because Neo is very different from the Souls games, I would say, in terms of how combat plays out. Very unique. I actually put. So, like, the one thing that's kind of annoying about Neo, I mean, if you buy the Ultimate Edition, it's fine, right? But otherwise, if you really like the game, you can only do NG and NG Plus unless you buy the DLCs, I think. Because I'm pretty sure it's the DLCs that add, like, NG Plus 2 to NG Plus 4. Which, the way Neo does New Game Plus scaling is insane. Like, I know there's, like, an entire equipment type I didn't reach. More than 16, or whatever you start as with. Probably 18 or something. But it's close enough that you don't lose much damage because you can't wield it correctly. Either that, or no, because the swing style was as though you couldn't wield it with strength. So. Like, I know you don't like katanas, and you don't like dex builds, so, like, Neo has strength builds, and, like, the axes are awesome. They are I love the way that Neo plays with, weight and stuff, too. Like, so you still got an equip load, right? But, unlike in Dark Souls, and the Souls series in general, it's not a punishment completely to go heavier. You actually gain bonuses for going heavier. It has bonuses and negatives, and it works out quite well. Because, like, if you're at the lightest tier weight, your defense is terrible, and your basic, I think it's pretty much equivalent to poise, is also terrible. But then if you go to mid weight, you get a boost in both defense and poise, but you lose a little bit of dash speed and dash distance, but you don't need maximum dash distance in that game. It's really not important. It's even overkill at times. And I went heavyweight. I went to like D tier or C tier or whatever, so like heavy armor, and it was fine. You would dash barely at all, but you would also have high defense and stuff. It was cool. It probably won't work for Way of the Neo, the highest difficulty, but for like a single playthrough, it works fine. And I went all the way to like NG +3 or something. Way of the Wise or whatever it's called. Some of the bosses in that are insane too. They're awesome. I should play Neo. I thought I streamed it like once or something. I think I did. It's 14? Why are there so many ghosts? I thought I took like 2 out already. Did they like survive or something? Because they do that. Of course he did. I had a bad hand on my, or bad, that's gonna hurt. No, it's not. Guys, please, please, stop stalling. He's gonna spawn more. Watch him stall as soon as I reach him, of course. Who would have thought? What strength does Pyromancer even have? It's like 10, isn't it? Affects your life lies. Who would have thought? And then like the way that they do magic and ninjutsu is pretty cool too. The variety in builds in that game is insane, because you can build like shuriken. You get like, I think it's like 20 total or something is what you can get for like a single shuriken type, and then you've got other shuriken you can get, like poison ones or something, I think. I don't quite remember, but it's crazy because you can just completely build around those 20 items, at least in the late game, where you'll do like thousands of damage per like throwing knife pretty much. It's pretty cool. Neo, I highly recommend it. It'll be a game I'd probably never do challenge runs in. I'm not very good at it, at least not the high difficulty stuff. It really is a lot of one-shots in the late game. Yeah, I thought it was 12. Really? Thank you. Hit me. Okay, that works too. Then why did it look like he was swinging it wrong? Weird. Because I could've, maybe he was one-handing it or something, but... Because I didn't think the Manus Catalyst had like a different swing type or anything. That'd be weird if it did. Dang it. Kidding me, man. There we go. You've just been wailing on Pinwheel too. We're doing like so good this time. Ah, that hit me? Are you kidding me? That's silly. I thought for sure it was gonna miss. That's why I got hit, obviously. Just die, man. Well, obviously, it's better than fist only. It's built to have melee damage. That just makes sense, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it had good AR. Most things are way better than fist only is the thing, you know? Oh, why did I backstep? What the heck? Is it because I changed weapons while trying to sprint? Don't jump. Thank you. Hey, sweet. Hey, that's awesome. Just don't dodge. Of course, both of you dodged as soon as I said that. Please. Stop. Thank you. I would love if you would teleport, Pinwheel. Thank you. Like, if anything has over, like, 100 AR, even, it's going to be way better than fist only. Even, like, 50 AR, as long as it's, like... I don't know, because it also depends on DPS, yeah, but still. It doesn't take much to be better than a fist. And that's basically, by the way that he just did it, where he teleported away, teleported in, attacked, and then teleported away. It's basically what Phase 2 is, if you can live past all the apparitions. Pivoted? What the? I don't know if I ever see Pinwheel do that. It's weird looking. Whoa. Oh. It's a little bland to listen to for 2 hours, though. I will give it that much. But yeah, it's a good theme. Yeah, 40. But still. That's not much. It's not hard to surpass either. Wow, that was close. It was real close. Probably should have gotten hit there. I'm not supposed to be that good at the game. Wow, look at that tracking. I guess that makes sense, though. If he only went right where he pointed, that'd be a pretty bad attack. I just wasn't expecting him to turn. I don't know, I probably should have been using the heal miracle before Estus. What are you talking about? I love the tree. I really like the tree boss's theme in Dark Souls 3. It's one of my more liked themes. I don't know why. Again, I do have a tendency to like bland things, so maybe that's why, but I really liked it. Gwendolyn? Gwendolyn wouldn't take 12 hours. Gwendolyn's gonna be one of the fastest boss fights. It's probably gonna be faster than Pinwheel. Because once you actually hit the end of the hallway, you can just wail on him. What is this thing? It's at 19. I was gonna say, I know I've been like hitting him for a while. I should go ahead and heal. Just in case. Man. There we go. Oh, I know it does. I haven't listened to that theme in a while, though. Maybe my opinion on it's changed. You know what, though? A boss fight music that I would never get tired of hearing, of course, is, oh wait, I was using the wrong Talisman there. Is Gargoyles music. Oh, that music's so good. Even if they did just... I don't know what it is about Dark Souls 2's version. It's not bad or anything, I just hate that it's in that fight. Because I enjoy the music. Also, yeah, I would totally rather be doing this than even try to continue Dark Souls 2 fist only. That's another thing, like, I'd gladly fight Pinwheel for 8 hours straight over doing Dark Souls 2 fist only. Even trying to just proceed. Ugh. I really don't like Dark Souls 2, it turns out. No, don't do that. I know this isn't going to be an 8-hour fight, by the way, but if I had to fight Pinwheel for 8 hours instead of doing Dark Souls 2, like if I had to choose one of those two, even if it was play Dark Souls 2 fist only for like 2 hours, if I had the time allotment, like if I could do 8 hours of Pinwheel, I think I'd rather do 8 hours of Pinwheel. That's fine. Honestly, it's actually not a big deal at all. I'm still surprised that they have like a different symbol for every weapon being at risk. Isn't that crazy? Besides the fact that I'm bad at Dark Souls 3, yeah, it shouldn't be bad. Again, really, I want to do the entire series, but in terms of relative ease, I think Dark Souls 1 is going to be at least the one that I enjoyed most, if not the easiest for me, because I want to do all bosses in all of them. That's really the problem, is wanting to do all bosses. Oh, there you go. Yes, give me 99 divine blessings. I know you can only use one at a time, but give them to me. I'll make good use of them. Oh, jeez. I thought I was gonna get hit there. Scared myself. This isn't even like high action. I just thought I almost got hit. I'm gonna keep going deep on that. Yeah, I deserve that. Oh well. At least it was only blocked. Thank you. There's you dead. Imagine how much easier this fight would be if they couldn't shoot through each other. I just said that because I saw him shoot through the other one, but it wouldn't be too much easier, I think. It would be easier, especially in that Phase 2. Phase 2 would probably be a lot easier. Yeah, dropping 99 divine blessings anyway would be a real pain because you'd have to drop one, exit, rest at a bonfire to get another one out, and then drop another. Like, it would be so slow. And not worth the time investment, I think. Okay. Whoa. Why did I think that was a fireball that had already been launched, like, in the other direction? What? Why did you do that? I guess that's why you keep an eye on Pinwheel. We're almost halfway done with this fight, actually. Isn't that crazy? We're like 1 bar away from halfway done. One-13th away from halfway done. Which, when you put it like that, it's not that far. I'll go for one hit on you. I gotcha, I think, technically. I did. That's good. Please don't. How did I just know? I just had a feeling he would. Oh yeah, Forgotten Knight set. Oh yeah. There you go, Grass Crest. That's like more than enough. I don't know, like, I was messing around in Dark Souls 3 Fist only. Man, why does Phase 2, Vort have terrible hitboxes? Like, I guess they just wanted... It's really weird, the way that he's set up in Phase 2, because of a lot of his slams hit all around him. It's not just his hammer anymore, it's him as a hitbox. And, like, why? Why would you do that? That's not good. Especially for something that you've got to stick close to hit. So, like, he'll hit you if you're behind him and swinging. It's pretty silly. Phase 1's fine, too. It's just Phase 2. And then, of course, you've got the wonky, frostbite effect. Like, the way that it... the, locations that it affects you. Like, when he does his breath, it'll frostbite you from slightly behind him, and that's weird, too. I don't know. Just the pants. I'd rather not take those pants. I mean, that entire set's ugly anyways, but it's also just gross. Ugh. Like this. I don't like it when you do this. When you just jump like this. You waste so much time. Obviously I don't mind it too much, but... Oh, I walked all the way around him. I wonder if that counted. I have a feeling it... Oof. Really? Fine. That sucks. Ew, my character's ugly. I forgot I was human last time because I kindled the bonfire. Really? Really? You guys are gonna do this? You're just gonna stall. Come on, guys. Here we go, that's good. There we go. Oh, and I was using the wrong talisman the whole time. Man. That's unfortunate. What the? Oh, that was flamethrower effect. Okay, sweet. I'll just wait right here. It's like I knew. Farron Keep is like pretty bad, I would say. It's such basic design that just warrants wanting you to... It like doesn't punish running through at all. Just due to how everything's set up, it's so easy to do. And the enemies don't entice you to fight them. They don't offer really much of anything for killing. In terms of souls or even gear. Like, yeah, their spear is really cool because it does poison, but that's it. Their shield is bad. Their dagger is decent. I don't know. Their drop rate is way too low on the wolf grass. Then you got the big guys that can drop the stone great shield, but those guys are just a pain. Or they can be. They can also be really easy. Just have them stand on fire. I don't know. It's like, and then you got the guy that just grabs you a bunch, and he's terrible. Then you've got the version of those guys that walk on all fours, and they're terrible. I don't know. Farron Keep's pretty trash, I would say. It's like Blighttown, but just gross. Just I don't enjoy it. Pretty much, if you want to, like, in the sense that it's too easy because you can rush through. Like, it's one of the easiest areas to just run, and but they built it so that you're not supposed to, because they put like 2 enemies around corners that attack you perfectly if you're coming up and just running. But you can just roll that and then hit X on the item. Like, I don't know. And then they've got that stray demon, which is kind of cool, but not really. Oh, I was wondering where he was. The noise didn't play for him coming in. Or I should say I didn't hear the noise play for him coming in. That's annoying. I know I'm using the wrong talisman, but I don't care. Yeah, it's fine. Maybe I just need to turn up the noise on my headset so I can actually hear the game. No, that's turning it down. There we go. Okay, we're halfway done with the fight. We used up like half of our healing items. But I thought the forest is supposed to be DS3's forest. You know? Not the Farron Keep. Wow, what a bad way to get hit. Now I'm just distracting myself. This is bad. Really, guys? Of course. That could have hurt. No, I also just don't like a lot of the enemies in Dark Souls 3, design-wise and how they fight. No, but that is where Crucifixion Woods is. Like, that's what Crucifixion Woods is. Because it's got the covenant that applies to it there in the woods, you know? So it's exactly like the forest, just with crabs for some ungodly reason. I don't know. They make no sense. Oh. Please, just die afterwards. I don't like that has like perfect tracking to it. It doesn't have it doesn't track you after it fires, but still. It's just, is it though? I don't know. It's not even all that pretty for most of it. It's a lot of slums. And then it's just, I don't know. Maybe I just don't like that it calls back to Anne Orlando the way it does. It just feels so blunt. Oh, come on. Come on. And then you've got Anne Orlando itself, and you actually go up there, and then it's just a bunch of Silver Knights, and those Silver Knights aren't very intriguing. And then you've got the actual Anne Orlando Cathedral inside area, and it's just covered in gunk and bad enemies. I don't know. Of course, just saying bad enemies doesn't really mean much of anything. I'm not giving very good reasons for why I dislike it, honestly. But I don't know. Personally, I can understand why the deacons are there, as they deal with the deep, and I believe Aldrich deals with the deep. Yeah, like the Covenant's in Farin Keep, but they watch over the forest for some reason. Even though they're called the Watchdogs of Farin, and like it would totally make sense for them to be Watchdogs of Farin Keep. They might also invade Farin Keep, actually. Missed time to roll. All because I just wasn't looking at him. Maybe it's just the enemies just in Erithal too. Like, I don't like any of them. They're built to roll catch, which is fine, but that's all they're built to do. Like, I don't know. That is their gimmick. Is literally have attacks that are unusual feeling to dodge for what should be a normal attack, like, and they do that often in that game where they slightly stall a lot of attacks just to throw you off, which is fine, it's a good way to catch the player, but when every enemy to every other enemy has something like that, it gets a little stale. And it's not that many, but there's a large majority, not majority, there's a large portion of enemies that do. Yeah, I can understand why they did it, too. I don't know. Again, though, as I said, I'm just not a fan of... I mean, a lot of this just stems from the fact that I thought there shouldn't have even been a Dark Souls 2. So, like, I'm pretty much just totally biased against Dark Souls 2 and 3 because I don't see a reason for them to exist besides to sell. And I don't know. There's a lot of just stuff I really don't enjoy. Thoughts on Bloodborne? Oh, I love Bloodborne. They could have just done something like that for Dark Souls 3. Just... It's the fact that they tie it back to Dark Souls 1, and then they make it seem all so important, but yet I don't know. I love Bloodborne. It's a great game, and it's got a lot of good stuff. Yeah, there's more roll-catching type stuff in Bloodborne, but it's also built for that kind of combat, where it's fast-paced and you're able to recover fast. And it allows for more mistakes. It allows you to recover from your mistakes through healing and stuff. Oh god. Yeah, I think that's a lot of it, is just... It feels so stitched and shoddy, I think, in terms of, like, lore. Even in Dark Souls 2 I felt that way, but then again, it's Dark Souls 2 lore, always. Like, it is pretty shoddy. At least it tried to... They could have just not called it Dark Souls 2, and then they could have had more free reign in Dark Souls 3, and then the DLCs wouldn't have been related to Dark... you know, it's just stuff like that. Then again, I also don't know how I would... Well... I was gonna say, I don't know how I would change Dark Souls 3 to make it something I would enjoy, but I would just... not. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Dark Souls 3 playing through it at first, but the more I play it and the more I think about it, just the more I dislike it. That's kind of what happened with Dark Souls 2 also. It was... Because back... I mean, yeah, I was quite a bit younger when I actually played Dark Souls 2 at first, so probably just didn't think so much about it, but hitboxes and stuff are terrible in Dark Souls 2. It's really started to shine on, like, I don't know. Soul of Cinder's okay besides his Phase 1. He's got some wonky stuff with it, like his homing soul masses being always active until he's poise broken, and always refreshing until he's poise broken, yeah. His spin to win is a bit wonky on his spear mode. He can cast Power Within on himself and Poison Mist. I get why they give him all these, because it's like, hey, he's like a player. But also it's... I don't enjoy most of those phases. Great Sword mode is, like, the Great Sword mode is fine, it's got really good moves and stuff, and Spear mode for the most part is fine, besides the fact that he can heal himself. Phase 2 is great, it's awesome. Basically they made it like Gwyn, but more readable, and then they also gave him some Manus move, which is good. If it didn't have Phase 1, I'd prefer him probably to Gwyn, but Phase 1 is just... I don't enjoy it, so... as I've just been over, so... That was silly of me to get hit like that, by the way. I gotta heal at some point using the Miracles, too. I need to stop using my Estus, because I need to save this one for Phase 2. Nice. It's definitely the better phase. Maybe because Gwyn's got good moves. And just, yeah, it feels more balanced towards the, like, in fairness. Not that the other mode's completely unfair, but... I don't know. And then you could ask me, like, about the DLCs and stuff, but I talk about the DLCs, but I didn't play them too often. Basically, I did them both on NG+7, and I did them on NG. And that was it, and I didn't like the areas, or most of the bosses, so... Like, Gravekeeper in Wolf was fine, but also, like, why'd they give him the armor they gave him? It looks really dumb. The wolves at the start of the fight are a pain, at least in New Game Plus 7. And don't really add much to the fight either, just annoyance. Frida, said it enough, she's a 3-phase fight. No fight should be that many phases, and expect you to... At least, like, obviously people have done it, and people, even I did it, but it's just such a pain. And then Gale's cool. He's a bit tanky at New Game +7, but otherwise he's fine. Same thing for the other team, by the way, or the Demon Princes. They have way too much health in New Game +7, or +6. She's totally readable at least, but again, it's part of the fact that I just don't like roll catching being so common, and that's all that she is. Well, in Phase 1, it's a lot of roll catching and hiding, which I don't enjoy. Phase 2, Father Ariando and her, that's a bit better because the arena opens up, but... And then, I mean, her ice magic's cool. Phase 3, she's got a lot of AoEs, which is fine. I didn't like that they made her deal damage in her wake up on Phase 3, because if you're not expecting it, you're just gonna get hurt if you're standing near her. Gale did phases better, that's for sure. Mid-ear, way too much health. Yeah, if you handle them correctly, it's not bad, but... Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's one way to do that. Honestly, mid-ear's fine. I don't like that they added another Dragon Slayer armor into the DLC. I don't know. Just always referencing back to Ornstein, and at least I think they tried to explain it with the lore more, but still. I'm gonna go ahead and heal. Wrong talisman, but it makes a difference of like 30 HP, which actually would have healed me back to full. Isn't that funny? There we go. That was good. Is it only... No, you've also got the terrible... it's a good fight PvP-wise, but otherwise, whatever his name is, with the adjudicator, whomever, that fight, he's a real pain because he can parry you like Dark Souls 1 style. Wait, is there only one Phantom? The Painting Guardians aren't bad, though. Yeah, Nameless King would have been great if you only had to do his Phase 1 once, but of course that's not how Dark Souls works. He would have been a great fight, but King of the Storm is just annoying. Something about the way the camera works in that fight, it always just feels off to me. But that's more of my problem. Oh, that was actually really close to being torched. Jeez. But yeah, Nameless King is a good fight. King of the Storm is bad. If not bad, just bland and awkward to fight. I would have liked Yor more if he wasn't a gimmick the way that he was. Like, he could have been a gimmick, but just... Why Storm Ruler? You know? There was no reason to call it that. You could have just given it any other name and not referenced Dark Demon Souls. They're not even related, and now there's something that relates them. Why? Let's see. The answer's fine. Their hitboxes can be bad at times, but they can also be amazing. So it goes both ways. Yeah, I've fallen a bit behind on healing in this fight, that's for sure. Hey, 8 again. Pontiff is just a good fight. Pretty fair. He's fairly balanced. Low health and defense, making up for the fact that he's really aggressive and strong. That's a good fight. Aldrich, they're fine, just a little bit bland. Just another callback to Dark Souls. but they explain it in the lore, so it's acceptable, of course. Hey, sweet. Sure hope that counted. I have a feeling it didn't. It did. Nice. I don't know. What other bosses to talk about, really? Oh, hey. Oh, we're in phase 2. Okay, sweet. Okay. Ah, that hit me. Oh, jeez. Okay. One down. Luckily, I got really lucky with how this started. You know? Oh, God. Please. Why do you have to be dodging so much? That worked. That counted. Nice. Please, just land and you're dead. Okay, hey guys. I think we've got this. And that's pretty much it. Now he should just teleport and attack. That's all he should do now. So it's a lot of running around, but it's easy. And hey, this gave me some insight. I want to say, like, and this isn't how it works. Like, I want to say if I just keep playing Dark Souls 3, I'll enjoy it more. But I know that's not how it works. But, like, part of it is just that oh, Osiris, I actually rather like his boss fight. He's got one wonky attack in phase 2, but otherwise I actually really like him. Gundyr, both forms are actually quite fun, too. There's a lot of good bosses in Dark Souls 3. More so than Dark Souls 2, at least. Well, maybe by pure number, but Dark Souls 2 might... Nah, there's a lot of... Most of them are bad, I'd say, but, like... I only say that because Dark Souls 2 has many more bosses. But, like... Yeah, see, this is just what phase 2 is. Is it buffering? Eesh. I feel like if I could just... If I could have... Like, there... If I could just have a save file that didn't start at the beginning of Dark Souls 3, I think I would enjoy Dark Souls 3 a lot more. That's part of it. The early game is pretty trash, but like I like quite a few of the bosses in Dark Souls 3. I know I said I wish Yorm wasn't as big of a gimmick, but I do still enjoy him. Aldrich, like, I enjoy these, yeah, a co-op round would actually probably help, though. Probably help me appreciate it more. Because I want to... there's a lot of good stuff in 3. They do a lot of stuff right, and I want to like it more. He is really fun. And, like... Honestly, I think that's what I should do, though, is... And it's probably what I should have done with Dark Souls 2. I should have... I know I said I was thinking about it, but I should have done just a really lax run first of Dark Souls 2 and 3 before doing Fist only. I'll probably do that for 3, actually. It'll probably help me appreciate it more. Because it's also been a while since I've assessed how I like the DLCs. Yeah, I don't know if I'd call them fun. You've got Tree Man and you've got Gundir's fun, but then you've got Vort. Vort. He's not very fun, and neither is Tree Man. Then anything else I wouldn't really call early game, because it's just Undead Settlement and High Wall of Lothric that I say are so stale to me. Exactly, right? And I had a blast playing through in co-op of 2. Like, I just, you know, I don't like being so negative about games, generally speaking. Well, okay, I do. Yeah, if that had killed me, that would. As I said, if you get hit on phase 2, you might as well be brain dead. Or maybe I said if you die. But still. It's just kind of funny. I definitely shouldn't have needed the heal miracles at all. I should have been able to tackle this without it. Honestly, could have done this so much better, but whatever. Like, really, it was mainly pot shots that he got lucky on that hit me, so. Oh, I thought you were saying... Well, the way that you put it, you said, exactly, the early game isn't fun, but the bosses are fun. It sounded like you specifically meant the early game bosses are fun, but the early game itself isn't. That's why I read it as that. But, yeah. There's a lot of good bosses. There's still some bad ones, though. But I'm trying to think. I don't even think I could name every boss in Dark Souls 3 anymore. Plus, it's actually got good-looking armor in it for, like, 2 pieces of armor, besides the one in this game. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Just stay in this corner. I know you won't, but... Oh, here. I don't think the Talisman bounces on walls, which is very good. That means Capra Demon won't be a big deal for the, killing the dogs, at least. I don't actually know if I really need to worry about saving Rhea, honestly. 15,000 souls from this, plus a few more that I could pick up if I just go to the Tomb of the Giants, you know? The ring, I could already, like, I could buy a large majority of the talismans that I need. I just gotta think, I've gotta buy them. Oh, Petrus sticks around for a long time. Is it picking up? It's just looping again. Hey, that's twice now I've always broken him recently. What other bosses are there in Dark Souls 3? I want to see if I have any critique for them. Deacons of the Deep. I would say I don't like them, but at the same time, I like how much of a hard counter they are to magic. Not that I hate magic builds, but like, it just makes sense. And the way that they're built up to be just, it's such a, it's cool. Oh, Dragon Slayer armor. I wish there wasn't a phase 2. Otherwise, he's real good. His combat's better than Ornstein's, and he looks mostly better than Ornstein. I still don't like the frill thing that he has, like the plume on the top of his helmet. Yeah, pretty much. That's what I mean by phase 2 is those things, because those things don't start acting or attacking until part of the way through the fight. But yeah, for the most part, he's good, and his moveset's so varied and actually readable. He's good. Of course, he just had to reference Ornstein, though. Aldrich? I thought I talked about Aldrich. They're fine. They're just a little basic. I don't like that they can heal themselves with Life Hunt Scythe. But usually that doesn't matter. Its hitbox is just kind of awkward because it will hit all around him. It's not just like an arc in front of him. Yeah, but other than that, it's fine. His arrow rain's a bit awkward, but manageable and totally readable for how it works. Demon King. You know, I might not like his fight too much because it's a little easy, but also like he has like my favorite Great Hammer, so he's fine. I like him. He's cool looking, and I like his final blast AoE thing. That's cool. Oh, Twin Princes. They're a tough fight. They're good. New Game Plus 7 Twin Princes was such a pain with the Corvian Great Knife. But I pulled it off eventually. Can I just say, you know, I think that's what I want to do. That's what I should do. If I can find time for a co-op Dark Souls 3 run, I would love to do that. But I would also just love to be given the Corvian Great Knife and do a run with that, because I love that weapon. It's my favorite weapon, probably in the entire series. In terms of how it plays to its series strength, like to its game's strengths, and how it actually just interacts with it. It's lovely. I love it. It's so good. And the way it's not very you know. It's like, I don't know. Corvian, it drops from the bird people that don't use sides, yeah. Not the ones in the DLC, just the normal people in, like, Crucifixion, well, right before Crucifixion's Woods, the Crossroads, Forbidden Crossroads or whatever. The guys that grow wings there that don't wield the scythe. Volnir? You know, I'm a bit biased towards Volnir. His fight's pretty bad, especially with the way that if he spawns skeletons or if he uses his sword. But back when I first got Dark Souls 3, I had a different friends group that I played with. Actually, I've talked to them, talked with you about them once, Conversos, because I was like, "It's David," and you had no idea. But that's not important. Anyway, I ended up carrying them through Volnir because they struggled, but I also had Smo's Hammer and did it with Smo's Hammer, so I really liked it. So I like Volnir, but his fight's bad, I would say. It's a cool gimmick, though, but also not a very engaging fight unless he does things that you'd rather him not do. No, they just kept dying. They got hit and just couldn't handle him. No, charging into the Toxic, you'd have to be a complete idiot to do that. Like, you would have to know what's happening. No, they just... It was a few things. They didn't quite understand how his breath attack worked, and I didn't really either. The way that it, oh, look at this, I'm actually almost out of talismans. The way that you have to get close to him for it to not hit you, instead they'd try to outrange it, so they'd get hit by that, or they'd just die from either being overwhelmed by skeletons or getting hit by the sword. Stuff like that. It was a bunch of things, but I had, because I made it into Rithel before them, a couple of them. One of them made it without me, of course, but I just used Smo's Hammer, and that was just a fun time, just using a charged R2. Oh god. This is why I shouldn't just swing. Yeah, actually, when I first started that fight, I was like, what the heck? Why does he deal damage to you the entire time once he gets close enough? I was like, this is real dumb. Because when you... The way that he moves that arm that only has one bracelet, it'll often just go right back into the mist and just hurt you, which is really silly if you try to approach it. But, still. But yeah, I'd totally take that Corvian Great Knife and do a playthrough with it. It's easily my favorite weapon of Dark Souls 3, if not my favorite of the series. Dark Souls 2, I don't really have a favorite weapon. They're all just kind of meh to me. Well, no, okay, that's wrong. I really like the Gargoyle Bident. I love that thing. Never mind. That thing's so cool. It's probably my favorite weapon of that game. It's very plain, I know, and very bad in terms of just viability in PvP. Yeah, I'll say it like that. But I really enjoy it. Dark Souls 1, Golem Axe all the way, even though I haven't used it in ages. Still probably my favorite weapon. It's terrible, but I love it. I don't know, Volnir's fight isn't very balanced in that sense, because when he's got skeletons out, they revive, and the skeletons just can overwhelm you, so because he can call so many different skeletons. but Wolnir himself, probably just, so it's just a bad fight. There aren't very many bosses in Dark Souls 3, are there? There's like 20 something, I would assume. 20 to 30 something, probably, if I had to guess. Trying to think of the other bosses. Oh, the knights, the Abyss Watchers. I hate that fight. It's not even hard, and it's just a callback to Dark Souls 1, and it's I don't know. I really don't like that fight. It's just boring too. And of course it has to have a, technically 3 phases. It's just a 2-phase fight, really. Of course it has to have a phase 2, though. And funny enough, they follow the other gimmick of Dark Souls, which is, well, Dark Souls, let's see. It's not really a gimmick of Dark Souls. It's just something that they started doing in their later games. They have one boss fight that seems to have fire that also, is basically a follow-up secondary weaker hit on their attacks. For example, Dark Souls 3 would be the Abyss Watchers, Maria in Bloodborne, and then Ishin in Sekiro. It's weird, though, that they've had that like 3 times. And specifically fire, and they have like similar swing patterns too. Ishin's a bit different, but I don't know. It's just, I guess they think it looks cool. Yeah, we're gonna pull this off. Awesome. Just a couple more hits now. Hey, look at that. We did it. We killed Pinwheel. 2 bosses down. Technically 1, because I gotta go back. Wow, it's like it read my mind on what I didn't want.